Hello students, here is Malisha. Today we are going to see the important questions of operating system. So let's begin with the 2 marks question. Here the first question, that is what is operating system? So an operating system handles your computer needs by the finding resources and applying the hardware management and providing the necessary service. Operating systems are essential for the computers to be able to everything they need to do. In other language, we can see that an operating system manages the software and hardware and providing the services of computer. Okay, so now the next question, that is list out the types of OS. Okay, so first, that is the batch operating system. Second, that is the multi-programming OS. Third, that is the multi-user OS. Fourth, that is the distributed OS. Fifth, that is the real-time OS. And sixth, that is the time-sharing operating system, and so on. So these are the common types of operating system. Okay, next question, third, that is the list out the service of OS. So user interface, program execution, file system manipulation, then input output operations, then communication, then resource allocation, then error detection, accounting security, and protection. These are the services of operating system. Fourth question, list out the components of computer system. Application program, user, hardware and software. These are the components of computer system. Fifth question, list out the scheduling algorithms. So here basically we have learned the 4 types of scheduling algorithms. So first, that is the FCFS. FCFS means what? That is the first come first serve scheduling algorithm. Second, SJF. That is nothing but the shortest job first, or we can say that SJN, shortest job next. Third, SRTN, shortest remaining time next, or SRTF, shortest remaining time first, right? Then RR, then round robin. Otherwise they can ask in the question like explain the RR in short, means methodology of RR, which type of methodology implemented in RR. So that will be asked in GTU. Next question, that is what is the race condition? A race condition is a situation that may occur inside the critical section. This happens when the result of multiple thread execution in critical section differs according to the order in which the thread executed, or we can say the process. So race condition is a situation may occur inside the critical section. This happens when the result of the multiple process execution in the critical section differs according to the order in which the process executes. Next question, define the swapping. So what is swapping? Swapping is a mechanism in which a process can be swapped temporarily out of the main memory to secondary memory. That means RAM to hard disk, and make that memory available to other process. Okay. So these are the most important questions and repeatedly asked in GTU. So mind well and learn these questions for the GTU exam. Next, what is deadlock? So in operating system, deadlock occurs when the process and threads enter the waiting state because a requested system resources is held by the another waiting process, in which the turn is waiting for another resource held by the another waiting process. Okay, so we can say that in short, whenever the system resource is held by another waiting process, in which turn is waiting for the another resource held by the another waiting process. So the situation we can say that is the deadlock. Next, list out the disk space allocation method. So here basically mainly three disk space or we can say file allocation methods are there. So first that is the contiguous allocation, second that is the link allocation, and third that is the index allocation. These are the three main disk space allocation method. Next, list out the file operations. We have already seen in the theory. So these are the very common file operations. First, that is the create. Second, that is the write. Third, that is the read. Fourth, that is the delete. Fifth, that is the truncate. And sixth, that is the reposition. So these are the common file operations. Next question, define the logical address and physical address. So logical address is generated by the CPU in perspective of the program. Okay, and physical address, that is the location that exists in the memory unit. So this is the definition of logical address and physical address. If suppose that may be asked like a main difference between logical address and the physical address. So that will be same as it is. Logical address is generated by the CPU perspective program, whereas the physical address is location that exists in the main memory unit. Okay, so that is the logical address and physical address. See, the difference between logical address and physical address, that may be also asked in the 3 marks or 4 marks. So this is the most important questions. Next, what is memory reallocation and protection? So here mainly what is the memory protection? That is very most important question. Memory protection is the way to control the memory access right on a computer, and it is the part of most modern instruction set architectures and operating system. So this prevent a bug or malware within the process from affecting the other process or the operating system itself. We will see later the memory reallocation and protection in detail also, so you maybe get the idea about it. Okay. Next, what is the fragmentation? So as per the processes are loaded and removed from the memory, and the memory space is broken into the little pieces. So it happen after some time that process cannot be allocated to memory block considering their small size, and memory blocks remains unused. So this problem is known as fragmentation. So what happened in the fragmentation? Usually the free memory space that is broken into the little pieces. Okay, and this happen after the sometimes that process cannot be allocated to the memory block. So that is considered as the small size and the memory block remains unused. So this problem or that is the call as a fragmentation. Mainly there are two parts of the types of the fragmentation. First, that is the internal fragmentation, and second, that is the external fragmentation. So mind well about the types of fragmentation. Okay, so here it is. The suppose that may be asked, explain the types of fragmentation. List out the types of fragmentation. So in that case, you have to write down there are mainly two types of the fragmentation. First, that is the internal fragmentation, and second, that is the external fragmentation. Next, explain the inter-process communication. So inter-process communication, that is also known as a IPC. So IPC refers to mechanism where the operating system allows the various processes to communicate with each other. So this involves the synchronizing their action and managing the shared data. See, IPC, that is the mechanism, okay? Whereas the operating system, or we can say OS, allows the various processes to communicate with each other. This involves synchronizing the various action and managing their data. Okay. Next question. Define the virtual memory. So virtual memory is storage allocation scheme in which secondary memory can be addressed as through it were the part of main memory. So virtual memory, that is the storage allocation scheme in which scheme that this secondary memory can be addressed as through the it were the part of main memory. So it mapped the memory addresses used by the program, and that is called as a virtual address, into the physical address in the computer memory. So this is about the virtual memory. Next question, that is the difference between program and process. So this is the most commonly asked question in JTU. So program and process, what is the difference between them? So first, that is the program contains set of instruction designed to complete a specific task. Or in other language, we can say program contains a set of instructions to perform a particular task. Next, process. So process is an instance of executing a program. Okay, so this is the main difference between program and process. This is going to be a set of instructions to perform a particular task, and this is the instance of the executing the program. Next, program is a passive entity. How we can say that the program is a passive entity? Because it resides in the secondary memory. Okay, so here the process is an active entity as it is created during the execution and loaded into the main memory. So this is the second difference between the program and process. Third difference between program and process, that is, first, program exists at a single place and that continue to exist until it is deleted. So this is about the program, and process exists for the limited span of the time. Okay, so that it gets the terminated after the completion of task, or we can say after the execution of task that may be terminated. So here the third difference between the program and process. So third difference, that is the program exists in the single place and that continue to exist until it is deleted. And here the process exists in the limited span. Once the execution of process finished, then it may be terminated. It gets terminated. Okay. So last difference between program and process, that is the program is a static entity and process, that is the dynamic entity. Okay. So these are the main four difference between program and process. First, you have to remember the definition of program and process. Then program is the passive entity and process, that is the active entity. Third difference, that is the existence of the program up to in a single place. Okay, that means once it is not deleted, that will be exist. Okay, and here the process exists for the limited span. Once the execution of process is finished, then it is terminated. And last, that is the program is a static entity and process is dynamic entity. So see, these are the most commonly asked GTU 2 marks questions. So first, that is the, again we have repeated. First, that is the what is OS. Second, the list out the types of OS. Third, that is the list out the services of OS. Fourth, that is the list out the components of computer system. Fifth, that is the list out the scheduling algorithm. Sixth, explain, may be asked, the explain FCFS, SJF, SRTN and RR in the methodology. 7, that is what is race condition. 8, that is the define swapping. 9, that is what is deadlock. 10, that is the list out the space allocation method. 11, that is the list out the file operations. 12, that is define the logical address and physical address. 13, what is memory reallocation and protection. Here mention only the what is memory protection. Okay. Next, what is the fragmentation. 15, that is the explain the inter-process communication, or we can say that explain the IPC. Next question, that is define the virtual memory. 17, that is the difference between program and process. So these are the most important questions, 2 marks questions, that is repeatedly asked in GTU. So mind well and learn these questions for the GTU exam. Hope you understand these questions. Thank you.